Alright guys, and welcome back to Armoured Warfare, and today we're going to be taking a look at the AMX 10p PAC 90, because I was looking at the Christmas deals coming up, and it's a 25% off. It's now less than 1,000 gold to buy, so I thought to myself, I need to do a Merc game, I need to show some Merc vehicles, and I want to show you guys the 10p 90. So what better way than to hit two birds with one stone, and to basically review the Merc tank, because it's exactly the same as the 10p 90. You can look at this and go and buy the 10p90, it'll be exactly the same as anyway. So, without further ado, let's have a look at what the 10p90 is really about. So, the first thing you'll notice when you're playing Tier 4 is that the 10p90 hits home hard. You really do notice when this thing has hit you, and that is because with my retrofit loadout of Mark II explosive propellant, Chrome Barrel Lining Mark III, and the magnetic actuator, the damage is 365. Now that's not with heat rounds, that's with the AP rounds, as well as the 235mm that come with the AP rounds, which is quite astounding at Tier 4, especially with a 4.5 second reload. It can pump out damage quite easily. Most things at Tier 4 have only about 120, 130mm of armour. So with 235mm, you're going to be going through quite a lot of armour, and you're going to be doing it with a lot of alpha damage, and also with a fast rate of fire. So you're going to be able to pump the damage out, which is why the sustained damage per minute is so high at 4,800 damage per minute, which is ridiculously high. I think that might be higher than the Zallos. Let me go and have a look. The Zallo is sort of the main competitor of this vehicle. Yep, there you go. Higher DPM than the Zallo, and I used to use the Zallo as a rate of fire machine, and it also gets more HP than the Zallo. 900, it gets 1,000 compared to the 950 of the Zallo. So I say you could take more hits, but 50 HP comparing these tanks is literally nothing, because the armor is appalling. 15mm front turret, 43 hull. You've got 14 side hull and 12 turret. You've also got 14 hull and 10 turret at the back. You're not going to be bouncing any form of round off the side or rear of this thing. The turret isn't going to bounce anything. Maybe if you're lucky off of there, but nah, you're not really bouncing anything. This plate here might bounce some autocannons, which I have done. I have bounced autocannons, but don't rely on it. Don't you dare rely on that armour for bouncing any sort of rounds at all. You're going to die very fast. The also thing about that is, why are you playing the 10p90 at such close range if you are? Of course you can play at close range, but if there's enough enemies for you to be absolutely obliterated by autocannons, then why should you be there? You should be more further back, putting that good gun to use. Which is also another reason why you should be second line to further back, is the mobility of this vehicle is subpar. It's got a good top speed, nearly 65 kilometers per hour, and it reaches 32 kilometers per hour in 3.75 seconds. It doesn't feel like 4 seconds, to be honest. It feels like it takes a millennia to get this thing moving. It really doesn't feel very fast at all. And that's not even an understatement or an overstatement. It does feel pretty sluggish and slow. When you're going down a hill, yeah, you might be picking up some speed, but turning at high speed is a no-go in this thing. No. Don't turn at high speed. You won't. It doesn't turn at high speed. The hull traverse is so sluggish that it's even viable to remove one of these retrofits universal that you've got to put the supercharger on it, because that's just helpful to get that 10% or whatever it is, 12% increase in hull traverse to get this thing to be able to turn is very, very useful. So, what else is there to be talked about this vehicle? Well, back to the firepower. I spoke about the AP. One thing you can see on the bottom of the ammo is it gets a heat round, which is generally what a lot of people would fire for this tier 4, because it's still got 207mm of penetration. Now that's a lot. Still, that could go through basically every tier 3 and the majority of tier 4s. It can even take on tier 5s with that penetration. With the damage as well, 396. Now I'm not sure if that's including or discluding retrofits, But that's still really, really powerful for tier 4. That could, in theory, two-shot a Zalo. Actually, it can not in theory do that, because I have done it. I have two-shotted Zalos of these heat rounds. As well as having that reload of 4.5 seconds, it's basically the same as the Zalo's reload. So you can out-damage a Zalo, you can just reload the same speed as a Zalo, as well as the accuracy of 0.07, which is also very, very, very good. My Zalo as well has 0.07 degrees of spread on the accuracy, and actually a slower rate of fire at 4.75 seconds, and a slower turret traverse, the 10p90s being 55 degrees compared to the 46.92 degrees of the Zalo, even with the enhanced drivetrain, which improves turret traverse by 12.5%. It's still like nearly 10 degrees slower, and also the cannon depression, 5 degrees at the front, 6 degrees at the back. What's the 10p90s? 8 degrees at the front, 6 degrees at the back. So it has better gun depression. It turns the turret faster. It reloads faster. It is more accurate. It's more damaging. It's got higher penetration, a higher damage per minute. What is there that the Zalo actually has over it? Well, the Zalo is faster, but it's slower to accelerate, as well as having a shorter targeting time at 1.73 seconds, compared to, I think it was 2.1 something on the 10p90 with my upgrades. So it aims faster, yes. It's got higher top speed, but it accelerates slower. Camouflage rating, though, 0.36 on the Zalo, 0.25 on the 10p90. Right. So it's not as well camouflaged, although it is actually, a smaller vehicle. It's not as well camouflaged as the Zalo, which is a bit of a problem, as well as actually having a shorter view range at 410, not 440 of the Zalo. So what sort of commander would you want to put on your 10p90 when you get it? Because the commander gives some very, very good skills to your vehicle. So let's have a look at my commanders that I have then. So I have Ioannis on. I think he's the best, to be honest, for this thing, because he does 20% critical module damage to enemies, as well as to enemy crew members. Firestarter is also ridiculously helpful. Doubles your chance to start an engine fire. That is really, really good. Feed the Flames, yeah, I haven't used that one really that much at all. I don't really usually get set on fire. And Bullseye to increase that minimum accuracy, which you really, really want to get down. What other ones are there? Well, Sabrina is your sort of generic sort of tank destroyer commander. She increases your vision range, useful. Aim speed, useful. Camo factor, useful. Visibility penalty while shooting reduced by 30%, really, really helpful on the 10p90. Since its camo rating is already quite low for a tank destroyer, that is quite a useful one to have. And base capture improved by 25%, which is just sort of there in case you need to capture a base or something. Maximilian and this man, Anthony, can be useful, the XP, etc. Just generic, increases crew hit points, vision range, that could be useful. And increasing your crew, since it is a tank destroyer after all. Philip and this man, Victor, I don't recommend at all. They're more heavy tank guys. This man, I don't use him. Simple. But Freya could be helpful. Increases module damage, minimum accuracy, ammo swap time, reload speed decreased. She's quite useful, but I personally prefer Ioannis. He is a good man. Crew, it only gets 2 other crew members. Loader, gunner, and a driver. So for the driver, you have to have spin to win. Please don't go into battle without spin to win on your driver. You will feel pain when you try to turn. And smooth ride, just if in case you ever want to shoot someone on the move while you're brawling, it's just useful to have. Larry, my gunner loader, rapid fire. Always a useful one to have, and always reduce your reload speed when possible. And quick draw, aim time. Since the aiming time isn't on par with the Zalo, getting that aim time down to try and be on the same level as a Zalo is always very, very useful. Consumables, yeah, we've gone for the normal consumables. But, we've got the 2 premium tanks. The Lav 300, we've sort of excluded that little guy a bit. Yeah, damage, it's not as good, of course, but we've got our retrofits on. This tank, which you can get normally in the tech tree, is also quite a good one to have. It does get AP, with lower penetration and lower damage. It has a slower rate of fire. To be honest, the 10p90, judging by what people say, that premiums are never as good as the tanks in the line, I found whenever I've played the LAV 300 before, is that it's just inferior to the 10p90. The 10p90 is your best tank destroyer, and since it is 25% off, I recommend it, to be honest. But without further ado, I've spoken about the stats in a garage. Let's take it out into battle and see how well this machine actually does against other players in those situations. Alright then, on to our first match. Here we are on Portstorm. Now, I'm a bit unfortunate with both these games because since the 10p90 is a premium, you will, quite a lot of the time in fact, get rather good matchmaking where it will be like 3 tier 4s in total in a tier 3 and 2 game. So you could imagine that with this 90mm gun with heat rounds is pretty devastating, but sadly I'm going to show you a bit higher tier. And when I mean higher tier, I mean not seal clubbing people lower than my tier. I'm going to be playing against worthy adversaries of the same tier as me. So, Portstorm, where could we go? We could go along the 0-1 line, up there along the open bit and fire onto the highway, but I want to play a bit more aggressively. I haven't been this way in a little while. I'm going to go centre, because that means I can respond to any form of attack or push that the enemy may do across either side of the map, because I'm closer to the containers than I am the open area, because the open area, all I have to do is drive up the road onto the hill and I can shoot that entire area. For the containers, is a bit more coverish, so I'm going to have to be a bit closer there to respond to the threat. So I'm checking. There is a Sheridan and a BMD-1 dueling it out over there, and I am wondering how much damage that little BMD-1 can sustain from one hit of Sheridan. Still looking, making sure that no one comes down here. I want to try and catch one of them in the side if it's possible. There it is. Oh, there they are. Fire, pull back instantly, and I'm spotted. You can see there, even that far away, they were on the edge of my view range, and I still got spotted upon firing on them. That T-64 back up there. There's one of them. Fire into his lower plate. Boom. 438 damage. Spotted again. Pop back out. He's moved a little bit more. Can I hit his lower plate? Nah. Hit his track. God damn it. And he fires and obviously misses. I wasn't spotted. Artillery also preempting my spot. Fires. Does 50 damage. So now I'm on the same HP as a Zalo. 950. Right. There's that guy. Fire. That was quite a lucky shot actually. I'm surprised that didn't either hit that container or other what's it called, girder. And then we got a second round off quite quickly into him, doing another 410 damage against him. And this guy is feeling the pain. There he is. He thought he was hull down, but he wasn't. And I got a nice clean round straight through his lower plate, taking him out instantly. You can see what I mean by this 90mm gun can make short work of anything. Always take more AP than you have heat though, because there are quite some strong targets, and my AP rounds do a lot of damage anyway, so I can sacrifice that extra damage of the heat for the more penetration. I'd much rather have more penetration than damage, so I can actually damage them. Put one into him, and that Sheridan there, I did get really sweaty that he was going to hit me. I did get worried, but instead he hit that other Sheridan for 578 damage. Leaving that Sheridan on 55 HP after one hit. Oh, my phone went off. Go away, phone. 80 gem. Locks not for me. It's for someone else. I think it was for that OF40 or T64 over there. No, it's just an OF40. I thought we had a friendly. He's obviously dead now. So I'm wondering, what can I do? I could go... Oh, crap. That Sheridan just got annihilated by that Starship. So the Starship now knows that there are enemies here. Right. So we're going to see if we can try and... Our turret is small. I will give the 10p90 that. The turret is small, but the turret is piss. It's basically just water. Piss water is basically all the turret is. It's no armor at all. But the turret is small. So if we can get hull down, it might be difficult if we go hull down for him to hit the turret. Although, you know, it's not really much. It's better than pulling out with the hull as well. Because that Starship does a lot of damage. My Starship with the retrofits does 600 average damage. And with a tank with only 1,000 HP, that's over half my health in one hit. And if he gets a crit, God, that could be 3/4 of my HP in one shell. So I'm a bit reluctant to use my hull to come out. And I was waiting to see if that starship there would come out, but he wasn't. He's staying behind the building on the hill. Good front turret armor. He's playing the starship well. And I'm wondering here what to do. A T-64 and 114 HP. Right. Can we get him? No, I just can't get it. Well, it is rear mounted. If we spin the hull around, we might be able to, but that wall gets in the way. And no, it doesn't. There we go. Spin the hull around, rear mounted turret, and we do get a good shot. Starship looks like he's probably going to come forward. Now, I am really scared here. There he is. Back, put a round through his hull, come back. I'm about to reload. There we go. I could have got him, but if I hadn't have rushed that shot there, because I knew he was going to shoot me, if I'd accepted that he was going to shoot me first before trying to kill him, I could have aimed up on his lower plate and killed him, which would have saved me a little bit of hassle later on. He's still there. He knows we're here. Come round. There is a starship there, of course. We are using this wall as cover. Shoot through the wall at him. Quickly move off. We're spotted. And, well, we're just going to unspot ourselves. Pull up. Unspot. Move back. That starship's probably aiming on us again, so we're going to have to be even faster this time on our pull away. Is he there? Is he there? Is he there? Starship there. There he is. Come back. Fire. Quickly move back forward. And he doesn't even get a chance to pull a round off into our side. Now, we can do this because we're not spotted. Simple. We are not spotted to do it. And we can spot him, fire, and our targeting is much better than his. So he can't pull off a shot accurately at us before we can pull one into him. This starship here, if I'd have killed him earlier, I wouldn't have had to faff around with all this stuff. Gubbins, look at him. And he's dead. There we go. BMD-1 saved me. Well, saved. Got rid of the threat. So there's one guy left. That one guy has got a Sheridan and a BMD-1, and he's in a Gvozdica. Somehow I don't think he's going to come out of that one alive, to be honest. I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, I'm not going to make it, am I? No. He's on 3 HP. BMD-1 easily outdoes me. And he dies. Easy enough. There we go. That was the first match. 4,200 damage. Only taking one hit and one splash of only 599 damage. Not bad, I may say. 3 kills as well, and we did not die. We did quite well for the team there. We did hold up that. We got the starship. We got the T-64s pinned down. We had both starships pinned down and the T-64s pinned down from the RO-40, us, and that other Sheridan that did valiantly sacrifice himself for the greater good of the team. He didn't noob die. He was a sacrifice. And he did us well. So, 4,243, spotted 6 enemies and got 3 kills, Master Gunner and Gold Medal. Fantastic. With 8,000 reputation and, God knows how many credits. I have to check when I come back. I've already forgotten how much we did. Top of the team, top damage, top reputation, not top spotting, and not top kills. Not even far for the assists, but we did good. 13 shots fired, 13 hit, 4,200 damage. That's sort of an above average game. Average for me in the 10p90 is between 2,500 to 3,000 damage. It is a good machine. It is very, very good. Back over, 222,000 credits, sorry, for that game. It wasn't that stressful, wasn't that much action. All we did was play to our advantages, and we won. So on to our next game, we actually are on Reactor. You all know the map Reactor, don't you? The map Reactor... Reactor. Like, it's not the best map in the world. It's alright, but it's not very good. And as you can see there, those corners, the cornering of the 10p90, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I was at not even full speed, and I tried to corner that. I hit the curb, went up onto one track, landed, tried to turn around on the inside of the starship and just overshot him and hit him. Not very good. So, Reactor, we are on encounter mode, so there is one flag in the middle, and we're going to go and try and hold it with our 10p90. Let's see how well this goes then. We're going to go to a choke point, and we're going to go to the main area of the map, and we're going to try and hold it in our tank destroyer. What have we got? We've got a Zalo, an OF-40, a T-64, and a Swingfire up here with us at the moment. Right. T-64 at the back. I'm expecting more tank destroyers to be with him at the back over there. And we probably could have the light tanks and any AFVs there, such as the BMP-1P, come up front and fight us. Right, let's make a move on. So we've got AP loaded. Heat might have been useful to have because of the tank destroyers at the back. There's T-64. Can't hit him. No one over that side. Oh, there's the Zalo. Spin the turret. Fire. I got spotted, unluckily. Unluckily. Not even a word. So I hit him for 380. Of course, we got a bigger gun by 5mm, and he hit us for 332. Not fun. This is also where it becomes apparent that the gun elevation of the 10p90 is not brilliant. And I dodged that round from him because I was trying to hit him getting into a position, but I couldn't lift the gun up while aiming backwards down that hill, which is... It's not a problem. It's only a problem when it needs to be. This is a heat round. There you go. Heat round straight through the side there at 452 damage. That was a low roll for a heat round. I'm going to put that out there now. That was a low roll. We're going to get a higher roll soon with our heat. 10p90 is not going to come back out. He's now dead. So he's not even a threat anymore. That T-64 is also dead. There's a Lav 300. Now the gun depression as well starts getting on my nerves. Rock. Nope. Can't hit it. God damn it. T-64 comes up. T-64 stays there, straight through his lower plate, and 585 damage with a heat round. At tier 4. That's the sort of damage my Challenger 2 does. And that's got a 120mm gun. This is a 90mm gun at tier 4. Fired that round. That round just disappeared into the thin. Now I don't know where that went round. Oh, at 40 as well. Can't hit him. Not good. Another T-64. No, I only literally just quickly put a round there. It was never going to penetrate, but I quickly put a round out there just because he was going to shoot me and I needed to move. So I just fired one out of spite of him being on the red team. Can't really see anyone anymore. We've only done 1,839 damage with 4 hits. We've got a few more enemies on this flank. There's the BMP-1P, and he's actually moved out onto the dam. So we're going to aim up on one of these bits, fire around, 600 damage straight through his side. He fires and misses. I could have hit him there, but he comes back out, which is confusing, so I just put another round. I two-shotted a BMP-1P. Yes. Beautiful. With 600 damage on that hit. Like, that wasn't even a critical hit. Critical hit's a yellow. That was still orange, essentially. Which, Jesus Christ, it's powerful, this gun. With a heat round, of course. There's the Zalo. I just came out a little bit too late there. He just backed up. Is he going to pop over? Is he going to pop over? Good camera rating of the Zalo. Oh, there he is. No, I'm not going to get that round. The smallest bit of his engine deck, I'm really not expecting to hit that. Oh, look at that. There he is. There is fire. 578 damage through the side. Now, he's like, holy crap. And preemptively, I know that he's not going to be able to... Oh, ouch. What am I going to say? Preemptively, I changed to AP there because I knew that he was going to start side-scraping. If I penetrated him like that, of course he's going to side-scrape against this. He's got a big concrete building. So I changed to AP, and it still goes straight through his side anyway. But he hits me in return as well for 303 damage. That leaving me on 205 health. That's not good. That means I'm a one-shot for any enemy. And, there's a bit of a fluke shot there, not really expecting much. Put another round out. Someone else hits him for 312 damage. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been the swing fire or the T-64. Not too sure who hit him. Looks like the swing fire. So I'm trying to move to a better position where I can try and decrease the angle with his side scraping. But then he gives up on side scraping. And lower plate, of course I hit the wall, don't I? And the swing fire finished him off. So that T-64 is dead. One more T-64 down, 429 HP. And they've got 2 artilleries and a Sheridan. So we've got a better chance of switching over to heat. There you go. Because there's more soft targets. We're more likely to run into one. Switch over to heat rounds. Keep on going. Right, we could go and try and see if we can get the enemy artillery, couldn't we? You know, Gvozdyka M109 are obviously in the base. If not, they're going to be in this little alleyway because we would have spotted them by now. There's enemy T-64. Reload, realise it's too late. The time behind him. Straight through his floor, and it just destroys him. 429 damage is really low roll for these heat rounds. Really low roll. So it was highly unlikely that I was going to roll even lower than that not to kill him. M109 looks like he's most likely going to die. Where's the Gvozdyka? There he is. Fire. Boom. 450. This is the best feeling in the world doing this. And I get the Gvozdyka. M109 is also dead, but the friendly T-64 drove off a cliff and killed himself. If you just rewind there for about 6 seconds, you'll see in the chat it says T-64 has crashed. And that T-64 up there is completely overrun. And he dead. He dead, boy. So 4,800 damage this time. I think it's about 600 more damage than we did before. Easy enough. But we played it differently. We played it like I recommended not to. Oh, the logic. How am I doing this? I don't know. But if you're not really skilled at the game, should I say, or if you're not, you know, used to it, I do recommend the 10p90 being used as a sniper. It's an accurate gun. It's a powerful gun. Good penetration. Fires fast and aims fast. But it hasn't got the camo facts. So you need to bear that in mind. But I do recommend the 10p90 now. Especially on its 25% discount. I've always recommended it. But on the 25% discount, you should all go and get one. If you haven't already, then go and buy the Merc one as well. If you've got that, well, good job. Now go play it very well. So we got gold medal, we got recon and master gunner. So we did quite well for the team there. So guys, thank you for watching this 10p90 review. It's been a pleasure talking about this vehicle for you. And I hope to do more in the future. And as always, go buy the 10p90. Yeah, joking aside, I do give this tank probably about an 8 or 9 out of 10. It is a fantastic machine. Really, really good. The only downside is that hull traverse speed and the mobility and the camo. Other than that, it's brilliant and absolutely fantastic. And I do recommend it for the price it is at the moment. So guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.